Uncle Mez.
And I'm man like Larry.
We've been chilling since nappies and baggies.
Different cultures, we learn from each other.
Had a few scraps, never turned on each other.
Been through a lot, I don't know where to start.
So grab yourselves a drink and come and have a laugh.
Come on.
Forget the band, man. Let's go. You always on road in this band, and that, man. Let's go, man.
You're on a long one.
Taking long, man. Let's go.
Funny. Let's go, man.
Yes, people, welcome to the Uncle Mez and Larry show again, man. Hope you lot are ready for this one. You get me? I told you lot we're going to be consistent. We're going to give you the episodes. We're going to hold off on the guest for a little while. You're going to get a guest on the next episode. But for now, it's just going to be a little bit about me and my brother. You get me? About the hosts of the show and that. You get me? Just so the viewers can get to know. You lot already know us. But for the people that don't know us like that, or they've got to recently know us through our journey that we've started, it's just going to be a little bit about us and about Uncle Mez and man like Larry. Obviously, you lot can see from the title. So we're going to kick it off with man like Larry, and he's going to, tell us a little bit about how he's ended up where he is and what he's been through so far. You get me? So let them know, man.
Blood, I don't know where to start, man.
It's a mad one, isn't it?
Because it's a mad one. Do you know what it is? It's like talking openly and letting a lot of people know certain things and this, that. It's a bit mad, isn't it? So I'm gonna keep it a little bit.
It's a pretty current topic as well, though. To be fair, like what we're gonna go into. Do you know what I mean? Which obviously is the IPP, and a lot of people's IPP has been removed. So congratulations to them, and I'm happy for everyone that's got that off them, because it's not a nice thing to carry around. I've been through certain experiences. I've never been through that one with an IPP sentence, but I do understand. But I don't understand what it is to feel like to come back into society and feel like I can't move or I can't do nothing. But man like Larry can definitely tell us a bit about that, because obviously, congratulations, my bro, yours has been removed as well. So yeah, man, you know what I mean? Obviously, he's going to be able to tell us a bit. So yeah, man, let them know, man.
Kickstart this, man. So look, I'm going to try to keep it a little bit PG, but it is what it is, isn't it? So, boom, a man like Larry, a lot of people know me as Load, straight out of northwest London. And growing up, man was a little ruffian. You get me? So I used to be around a lot of madness and, but I didn't stop that way. Because man does come from a nice background, nice family and shit like that. You understand? Man found the roads and started going out there and, man fell in love with the street life. Even though that's not what my family's about, I started falling in love with the street life, really and truly, innit, Uncle Mez?
Yeah.
This is what it is, innit? And because
the environment.
100% because of the environment, and man used to do a lot of nappings and all of that and suck a lot of people. A lot of people know me for a lot of mad robberies and mad nappings that man used to be involved in. And this is real life that man's talking about, Man was that kind of youth where man shot in, man will get the low down, boom, nap man, put man in the boot, tie man up, cable ties, all of that kind of madness. And that kind of life ended up getting me a life sentence, do you understand? So by the age of 18, I ended up doing a life sentence. I didn't even know I had a life sentence. So 2006, I got hit with IPP, which
What do you mean you didn't know you got a life sentence?
So when me and my coldies went for sentencing, the judge was like, I'm gonna give you, and I don't want to say my man's name, but trying to keep it, but one of my coldies, big you up, you already know who I'm talking about. So they looked at man like, yo, I'm gonna give you two a life sentence, but actually I'm not gonna give you a life sentence. I'm gonna give you a sentence, but it's a lengthy sentence, but it's not a life sentence. So we're sitting there like, what are you talking about? It's like you're giving man riddles, do you know what I'm trying to say? So, but my mum and my boy's mum already knew what they were already kind of talking about, because obviously they were older, do you know what I mean? They're into politics and what the government was doing back then with these kind of sentences. And I guess this is why my mum always used to say to me like, yo, be mindful, be careful, be careful. And before I knew it, the judge said to me, I'm giving you 43 months, which is 3 years and 7 months. So I'm there sitting there in the getting sentenced. I'm thinking 3 years and 43 months. What's that? 3 years and 7 months. What's that?
I'm trying to work it out. What 43 months is.
What it is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And my co-D got sentenced. My mum and that's jumping up, going mad. My co-D's mum and auntie and everyone's going mad, saying, yo, they didn't rape no one, they didn't kill no one. What's going on? What's going on? Only because they're black, this, that, and the other. The judge went mad, told everyone quiet, this, that. Anyway, so now man started man's journey in jail, not realizing man's got a life sentence. Until man actually got into the jail properly and started telling people, yo, man got given some 43 months and this, that, and the other. And even then, because it was still fairly new, no one didn't really know what it was.
So you didn't even know until you touched the can,
Like,
what IPP was?
The man actually didn't even in the can, because people didn't, everyone, because at that time I'm in Feltham, so I'm on remand. So a lot of people's going through their own little struggles. A lot of people are fighting their M charges, fighting big charges, do you know what I mean? Like, so no one don't really talk about, oh my God, that sentence. Where we're young as well, we're more into fighting, do you know, things like that in the jail. We're keeping up bare crud in jail and doing things like that. So we're not really caring about certain things and wanting to care about listening to someone else's sentence like that as much. And I just remember them setting up a sentence plan, saying, you know, you have to do X, Y, and Z courses, this, that, and the other. Anyway, cut the long story short, man went through the mad journey of I remember thinking I'm all going home soon, and I got a big, they call it a dossier. So on a dossier is everything that you've done in custody up until that point. And they said basically,
Because they document everything.
But at this time I didn't know. So anyone you talk to, anyone you interact with, security, files, all of that, they're onto all of this.
And I suppose if you're a high risk, they probably pay a bit more attention to you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And that's another thing. They had me as high risk for many years. Do you know what I mean? Until I got out, and for some reason I've always been high risk. And growing up through the system, I've only been to one CCAT, and I lasted 6 months, and then went straight back down to BCAT. And yeah, man, high risk, innit? So obviously it's their business. It's they were making money from having me as high risk, because then the taxpayer also needs. These are the things that you have to learn and understand, because it's a business. Do you know what I mean?
It's like comparing it to like a nursing home, I suppose. You know, someone with more needs, obviously they're gonna pay more.
100%.
Do you know what I mean?
100%.
So if somebody's harder to deal with, they need more funding for that.
Yeah.
You see, I'm not aware of that, but it makes sense to me.
Yeah, that's how it is. So they're holding me for a long time.
So they get paid different money based on the type of prisoner and everything.
Based on the type
so it's
of
not
prisoner.
like it's not like someone who's in there for, I don't know, say someone's been repeatedly done for drink driving and they've caught a 6-month sentence.
Yeah, that's completely different. Yeah. So
they're not gonna get paid the same money for him.
Nah,
for them 6 months than they would for like someone like yourself.
Yeah, because with me it'll be more like the governors are onto man's movement. Like everyone's onto man, probation is onto man. You know, like there's a lot of things that they're onto when it comes to doing a life sentence, especially when in jail they put you with security. So when you're known for phones, drug, you know, things like that, your security risk.
They're onto you.
They're onto you. So, bad man went through the maddest journey in the jailhouse. Man went through mad fights and all of this kind of madness. And do you know what the mad thing is?
Well, you was in there for a long time,
about 13 years. 13 years, my brother, man.
And that's on one sentence.
You know, so the 13 years.
That's a long time, my bro. Like, you know.
Do you know what the mad thing is? Bro, there was people that had shorter sentences than me, and man was cool with them. They hanged themselves. It was madness, bro. Like, man saw so much mad.
You just never know what somebody's going through in life, innit?
You know,
like what's happening on the outside world for them. Like in there's all kinds of characters and people from all walks of life.
So even just to label it, so IPP is imprisonment for public protection, which the Labour Party brought out in 2005, and I got it in 2006. So it was fairly new. The European Court of Human Rights was totally against it because they called it an inhumane and a brutal sentence where you're never going to get released. You've got 99 years and there's still people stuck until this very day that only got 1 year in 2005 and 2006, etc. And they're still in custody right now. Do you know what I mean? Because now, what's happened now, they end up getting, a lot of people end up getting mental health from being in jail for that kind of period, not knowing what's going on in their lives. Do you know, like, for example, there was never one visit I had with my mum that she didn't cry. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, the minute she's walking up to me on the visit, I can see tears in her eyes.
Yeah.
But then everybody's there watching. And do you know how real life is? So many times I want to hold my mum and cry with her, but it's like, mum, is cool, man. Like, like you have to, you know what I mean?
Did that change at all over the years when you was in there?
It never changed, nah.
So you stayed hard, like tough, like that.
Do you know what it is? I had to. So, for example, going for parole and being rejected numerous amount of times that you're not going home. Not going home. Bearing in mind, when I got sentenced, I already had my son. So I went when I got. So my son, I've never been in his life because 2006, in September, I was in jail. And in January 2007, my son was born. So everything has been on a visit, that kind of communication on a visit.
Yeah. No, like outside, like
no,
never,
do you understand? Like, so it's, even to try get that relationship with him, it's a bit mad because of the length of time I was away and things like that. So trying to build on that, like, is a madness. And going through a lot of heartache and pain, being in custody with no release date, I ended up learning how to remove pain. So not to care, in a sense. And I guess I had to train my brain not to have feelings and be tough with myself so that I don't turn out like Jack on the end of the wing that's gone mad because his girl cheated on him and because someone passed away in his family and, do you know, things like that.
Yeah, of course.
So I had to toughen myself. Not saying that there wasn't times that I didn't shed 2 tears in my cell. Of course there was times that I shed tears when I reminisce about family, my mum, like things like that, and you know, like life and all of that. I managed to be like, fuck, man, and do you understand? But transitioning through that situation in jail, I ended up supporting young people in custody and doing courses and things like that, and trying to better myself because I started realizing that if I don't change my ways in a certain type of way, I'm never gonna go home.
Yeah,
like,
you had to. I was gonna say, like, at what point? Because obviously, like you said, that you never really knew what the sentence was, but then you must have, at some point, realized what that sentence was. So how far did you get in, and until you realized, like, oh shit, this is what it is?
I realized properly when it was like,
when you got knocked back for parole or something.
When I got knocked back for parole,
yeah,
like, you're not going home, and I'm like, not going home? Why? Reading the paper.
And this was after what they've recommended for you to do.
Yeah. So in 2010, I used to say to people, I used to say to Uncle Mez, bro, I'm coming home soon. I'll be home soon. I said, it
I was listening to that for years. I used to speak to this guy, and he's saying, yeah, I'm Mez, I'm coming home. I'm Elgie, I'm coming home. I'm thinking, yes, finally. Bruv, that was like from maybe, I'll tell you when I can recall that from. I say I recall that from like when you were 6 years in.
Yeah, bro.
I used to get a phone call, yo, I'm touching the roads. I'm like, yeah, blood, finally. These times, man's been on a couple trips already. Do you understand? Then I'm hearing these, yo, I'm coming, thinking, yes, finally.
And
but
it's just an ongoing thing.
It was a long time, man.
Ongoing thing, man. And yeah, man, transitioning through jail, ended up doing a lot of courses to better myself.
No, but before we move on, sorry. Like, so yeah, the reason why we even spoke about that is like, so when you did realize, so you said when you realized 2010, so that's like 4 years in, after you got knocked back for parole, that's when you kind of realized like, all right, cool, these lot are not letting me out.
Like,
yeah.
But still then, I still had that belief like, all right, next time then, innit? If they say no, I'm going to go home next time. Because you still have to have a
I
little
know
bit
what
of
you
faith.
mean. I know what you mean now. So you kept faith, but then eventually that faith got knocked out
That
of
faith
you.
just gets knocked out of you because, like,
Yeah,
you're
they're
not
not
going
letting me
home.
go.
Bum.
Yeah.
Again, you're not going home. It's like, I'm like, fuck everything then. I don't care about nothing then. If I'm not going home, I'm going to chop up my man on the wing. I'm going to move mad. Like, do you know what I mean? And, yeah, man, you
But
know.
obviously, so you consciously then did obviously make a change because you got out. So
Yeah.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but you know what? You know what's mad as well? Solicitors, because man had the governors and all of that onto man's case. Yeah, not in every jail. You understand? I can't say every jail because there's good officers I come across and there's bad officers. And
That's like in anything though, isn't it? Any walk of life, innit?
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But over the years, I started realizing a lot more officers are more like gangsters. Like
Because they get just the authority and that for a bit, innit? You
yeah,
know what I mean?
like the system is completely changed now to how it used to be. Now, like officers think that they're man them. Like it's a job. You're not there to be man them. Do you know what I mean? Like, and this is, do you know what I'm trying to say? Like reality, yeah. And
They're the-
I'm
they're the ones that you
taking
gotta
the
be
piss.
careful of.
I'm not taking, and they're the ones you have to be careful of because they're the ones that will take you in
Make
the
you
block.
feel comfortable.
They're the ones that will take you in the block and open you up. So they're the kind of officers that, for example, you're doing things in your life, and this is what a lot of people don't talk about. And I'm gonna say certain things. I don't give a shit because no one can't tell me nothing. My brother, the rich guy will come into the jail. These officers are getting my man's details off the computer. Bam. Like family details, addresses. My bro, people, they're giving it to certain people. Certain people are going out there on the roads and doing the mad move.
Doing the madness.
Because now they know this rich guy is in jail, they're napping my man's family, this, that, and the other. And then what this man will do is, yo, here,
Yeah.
here's a
Chat-
phone.
chat
My
to these
man
people.
will look at the phone, blood, he'll see his wife there. Like, yeah, what's going, like, what the, do you understand? Now you have to pay money. And this is the kind of things that people don't talk about. So jail's a dangerous place, you know.
It's a small place as well.
It's a small place and a dangerous place, do you
Yeah.
understand? And and a couple people that know me know certain things man's talking about. You understand? Jail is a madness. Like, man actually get napped in the can.
All right, so look,
Go on.
let's rewind a little bit, yeah.
God.
Let's rewind a little bit. Go back to the whole IPP thing, yeah.
Yeah.
So you didn't like obviously just get IPP, didn't it?
Nah.
Straight away, like that wasn't like your first sentence, or it was kind of a build up to it.
Yeah.
So like, what kind of stuff would you say? Like went from when when did it become like badness? Like when did you realize like, yo, I'm doing stuff that can get me into trouble? Because remember, the reason I'm asking you that, yeah, is because I went through life until 16 like that, yeah, until I had to go on a little trip.
Yeah, come on, man.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So then,
I remember, come on.
that's when I kind of realized, yo, there's consequences for this kind of stuff because, like you said, bro, we come from kind of good families like that. We lived in a nice area. Do you get me? It's not like we used to come out of our house and see badness all the time. Like, don't get me wrong, yeah, there was a couple bad boys around and that, like, but it wasn't like certain other areas that we later on started, going to and being around and meeting other young people that our age, and they're teaching us different things and stuff like that. So we lived in quite a good area. So like, I was always mischievous. We was always mischievous and naughty and that. But like I said, I never really understood, like, yo, man's keeping up badness that can end man to go over there. And I think a lot of young kids don't realize, like, yo, there's consequences to the stuff that you do. So yeah, for me, it was kind of like 16, 17, I kind of realized, like, yo, this stuff ain't a joke. Because
Yeah, but remember, up until that point, you still done longer than me. At that point, like, you ended up getting a hot minute. Do you understand?
It was a minute.
Like, because the youth, them are trying to be mindful.
Yeah,
but
PG for me, you get me?
Yeah,
But
you get me, Uncle Mez. You get me, the
know.
uncle for a reason. You're my uncle. You get me? So obviously, them man at that time, man looked at Uncle Mez like, raw blood, they stung you, dog. Like, yo,
Yeah,
like,
they're 18.
yeah, blood. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Like, so it was only, that's why, bro,
Little 18 moons.
It's a
You get
madness,
me? A little
innit?
18 moons. I was like, what?
But I was like, oh shit. That's why I
Yeah.
even big up Dice.
Yeah.
Dice was sat down with you and one couple
Yeah,
before
yeah,
you even
yeah,
went
yeah.
away for
Yeah,
a hot
yeah,
period because
yeah,
you was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
yo.
Yeah, them holidays were crazy. But yeah, that's when I kind of realized. You get me? But when did you realize? Because to me, it was like, yo,
Do you know when I realized
you get
that
me?
the
Remember,
man's-
you lot was always a bit mad. You get
But
me?
do you know when I realized, yeah, that. But it got to the point where I didn't even give a shit. When I started seeing like man them in the ends, yeah, like catching 25 years, man's getting L plates, like you know, like
Yeah, that was
that's
a bit
when.
like, yo.
But even then, because before certain man got their big ones like that, they still got big ones for like other mad things.
Yeah, before that.
Before that, do you understand what I'm trying to say? And I'm not
Yeah.
gonna say names because we
Nah,
know who's
yeah.
who in Northwest. We know who's who in, you know. And these times, yeah, Press Road was popping. A man can't say.
2006.
Do you understand what I'm saying,
Yeah,
my brother?
even before that.
These type, yeah, Press
Yeah,
Road was
it
popping.
was mad.
And then man, they were keeping up a whole heap of different kind of things, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and when man see a man, they catching big ones, bam, 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 bam. It was like, whoo, yo,
yeah.
But at the same time, because it's the roads, you still have to numb yourself to the road as well. And do you understand what I'm
And
trying
just
to say?
crack on, like, and believe it's not going to happen to you.
And believe it's not gonna happen to you, but still have that faith, like it's not gonna happen to me. But if it does, I don't. You care, but you have to act like you don't even give a shit. Do you know, like
You have to be
show
tough.
show no
Yeah.
weakness, show no
Yeah,
mercy.
London. Growing up in London was tough, man.
It
Because
was tough. And do you know what changed for me? Where man grew up, yeah, man grew up nicely. When my pops went to the can, and then we lost the yard, because back then my pops was a big baller. My pops baller. You understand? The man, they were doing their bits.
Yeah, I remember when he used to come to the school to drop you
My
off.
pops was baller. You understand? So when he went, he was like, I used to play with pinkies as a little kid, black bags full of money, playing with pinkies all around the house and all that. And when man lost everything, because now Papa gone away, whatnot. Now Mumsy's on her own trying to look after boys and bear different, like, so she it's you understand, it changed man's perspective of a lot of things. And we ended up getting kicked out of that yard now because Mumsy couldn't pay off the yard, whatnot, like bare things was going on, and like the bare shit was going on them times. I didn't really understand what was going on.
because you were still quite
Man
young
was
then.
still
You was
quite
in,
young.
We was in primary school
Man was
still.
in primary school,
Yeah,
yeah. And then man moved 20 minutes down the road, you know, to Willesden. And listen, bro,
Different world.
different world. Blood, kids are on the road at late in the night. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, you know, like what man would, like what my parents used to be like, yo, when the street lights go on, you
You're
better
in the
get
house.
us home, I'll give you
Yeah.
get a beating real quick.
Yeah,
Brother, like parents ain't beating the kids here. Furthermore, parents are smoking weed with the kids.
Yeah, they're
like,
chilling.
do you understand? Like
They're outside.
They're outside.
Yeah.
Like actual parents are outside. So now man seeing, my mum used to say to me, don't go into the area. We used to have a little ends there called projects.
Yeah.
That don't go in there.
Literally across the road.
Do you understand?
From the yard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't go in there. It's a thing, why can't go in there?
Yeah.
You know
What's in there?
What is in there?
Yeah.
Man went in there. I blood.
It never came back
Life
out.
changed.
That was
But-
Narnia for man.
That was
to the
that was it.
badness.
100%. You understand?
That the projects was Narnia to man for the
but
badness.
your pops knew what the area was because
Yeah,
you
my dad
already
worked
lived
there.
there
My
when you
mum
was a
and dad.
baby.
Yeah, I was born there.
You was born there, so your pops
Yeah.
knew what the area was. So
Yeah,
every
yeah,
time
my-
he used to drop
my
you
mum.
off, he used to be like, "Man, Monday," like that's boldy, like don't get in trouble. you
My
know?
family came here when they first came here. We was all in. I don't. Ma, ami kilben Maria koi diriata. Ami koi di kilben manutariana. Tamiriata. Yeah. See, so big up, mummy. You get me? Mummy's
Uncle
here
Bez's
in
mum's
the.
there as
You get me
well.
in the
Come
building
on.
today. So yeah, man. Sorry for the. You get me bilingual, but we first when my parents came here and my dad's brothers and everyone, they all moved to Kilburn first. So already knew like, yo,
It's peak.
what the ends is like. You get me? Because remember my dad's got there's 6 brothers. There's 6 of them. So the younger ones, obviously, they adapted to their life a bit more. Do you get me?
Yeah.
So they knew what it was and what it wasn't. And then I think my parents moved to Willesden. I was born, and then I was a baby still, and then we moved to Kingsbury. And that's where we was. That's why we say, you know, in the 90s, Kingsbury was a nice place. You know, it was a place where people, you know, you could like leave your doors open, like not like open like that, but you know, like if your door was just unlocked and you went down the road to the shop and you came back, nobody's gonna be
It'll
in
be
your house.
alright, innit?
Yeah, it'll be
Yeah,
all right. Do you
yeah.
get me? I don't think it's like that so much now.
Nah, man, it's not.
But yeah, my parents always knew, you know, like my dad worked in Harlesden, right by the train station, across the road from the McVitie's factory. So anyone that's from the ends, they know, innit? My mum, she worked in Willesden for about 16, 17 years, and then she worked in Cricklewood, and so they're very, like, you know, and they was around all types of cultures of people, like, you know, because they worked in, like, my mum had just worked factory jobs, you get me? So there was obviously other people of, like, Jamaican culture, African culture, other Asians, you get me? So my parents knew what time it was, and
that it was dangerous.
Yeah, like
my mum
did
you know what it is?
That was the whole reason why we moved to Kingsbury.
Like my mum, they'll see, at least you got to get away. Like my mum, we generally didn't know. We came with P, everything from another country to this country, nice, in a nice area. Everybody Christmas on the street, everybody's normal. Do you understand that it was all nice, Christmas tree? Bro, down the road in Willesden, when man moved there, hi brother, parents are smoking weed with their kids. Kids are out on the street all night long. Like, you know, like, man swearing back at their parents. Like, you know, like things like what, like, this shit is different. So, you know what? World. Man had to also adjust to new life as well, innit? And man started getting into badness from real early. Before that, anyway, man was already getting into badness.
I can remember, man. I can remember when you first took me, like, when I came. Obviously, like, we used to come to your yard and that, but I can remember when you first took me to the ends, and like, it was just mad, bruv. Like, you know, for me, I think I was 13 years old.
No, you're younger. What are you talking about? 13. Man moved there when I was about 10.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It was like, you was there, innit? You probably got earlier memories of, you know, like going to the ends and just venturing down the road. I had it a bit later.
Okay.
Do you get me?
Okay.
Because obviously I used to come check you there. Yeah. Do you get me? Then when we went there, I was like, yo, bro, this is lively. Do you get me? Because like what you're saying, there's bare youths about. It's like, it's different. It's not different. Like Kingsbury.
Look, man's a little youth. What? 11 blowing club 90s
to
bikes
school. And that. That's what I'm saying. I came there, I'm seeing kids just bare bikes. Like, I was like, wow, little kids. I want to be around here. Because remember, we used to like bikes. We used to. This is one thing about me and man like Larry. When we were youths, even though we was from Kingsbury, we never ever felt like, yo, we can't go here, we can't go there. We used to have travellers. Big up the travelling community. We used to have travellers that used to come and literally, yo, bruv, I don't know if I'm going to over-exaggerate it right now, but Silver Jubilee Park, for the people that know, that's a big park.
No, but it's massive.
Yeah,
there's even another
and that whole thing used to get full, yeah? We used to see, how old was we? We was probably about 9, 10.
No, younger than that.
Because we was in primary school. We seen the little Irish kids, the little traveller kids, blowing the little bike.
Yeah.
We're like, yo, can we go and ask them? Bro, they let us ride it. We started riding bikes, so we got the passion for bikes from young as well.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, man, going from Kingsbury over to, you know, into like Northwest 10 and all of them types of places, it's a different world.
But that's when the movies that man used to watch, like New Jack City and all of these kind of things, now man's living in the New Jack City.
Menace to Society and all of that, Boys in the Hood and that.
Now man's living. So from sitting at home with my older brother, big up Dice, watching these movies, but man's living it now. Man, brother, like in Kingsbury at that time,
you're seeing man them moving like that.
You're seeing man them moving like that. And then you're seeing like, and that part of the water, if people know, is heavily Jamaican like culture.
Yeah, Caribbean
culture.
Like,
so there was bare yard man there.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Like all of a sudden now man seeing everything, like a man's around all of it because man love the badness really, innit? So when man love the badness, this is where I guess it's a build up to all of it, because as a young youth, I started realizing as well, most of these guys ain't even on what man's on. Because man will punch them up, like reality, like not like in man's little, like what man's dealing with, like because we like there's only a couple of us that's on
the madness.
Was on. Do you understand? Like and what I'm trying to say is,
I've had people tell me that as an adult, like, yo, you lot was mental.
100%. Like the kind of length and the kind of things at such a young age will do. Like, I mean, yo, How many a man at them kind of young ages there can say, yo, man, tie man up with cable ties. First of all, man's tying man up with rope, and then they're releasing themselves and getting away. So now we're getting creative. Like, yo, if they can get away like that, 1 minute, armed police put cable ties on, man, a man can't even get off. Or come and use cable ties and tie man up. But hold on, we need a place to put them. We ain't got no yards. We're only, all right, we're not going to put them in none of our yards. So what are we going to do? We had little ringers now. Now we had cars, but then we evolving. So for example, man had an old school Merc, and that was the best Merc ever, because when you open the boot, inside is just a tin. You're not going nowhere. You can't kick no seats through to come out, and man turn up a little while later and the back screen, the back glass is smashed and they've got away.
Allegedly, guys.
Allegedly. No, it has to be allegedly.
Yeah,
because I'm not doing a bird again right now for something. So it's allegedly. So man evolve into that mindset as well, and also like now man's getting enticed with guns and shit, because man's living that, like, around all of it. So now man's loving that kind of life and thinking that it's cool and normal, not realizing that, yo, brother, you're gonna soon know what time it is. Like,
it's leading down the wrong path.
It's leading down the wrong path. Like, for example, like, I'm not gonna say his name, but my brethren, man, you done know already, man. Like, yo, man, he's in a wheelchair. You get me? Like, we're all the same age, blood. I remember, blood, man, flipping out. I remember my man ended up getting hit. Blood, we're only young youths, blood, 12 and shit. My man got a hit in his back. Oh, and them time there, it happened so quick. Like, it was just like, boo, boo, and brother, my man's on the we got away, but it's like limping, like, and that's it. Before you know it, my man's in a wheelchair, and he's still in a wheelchair this very day, man. So, you know, like, my bro, man, obviously if you see this and all of that, man, thought about you for many years. Obviously when that happened, obviously your family moved you to another part and this, that and the other, but
yeah, but big him up though, man.
Big up my brother.
I don't know who he's talking about, but yeah, man.
And them time there, he was on smoke. Them man there, he's a yard youth as well. He was on smoke. Them man there used to be in Kia Hardy flats. Yeah, in Church Road, and moving mad in Kia Hardy flats. And back then that was that, innit? We used to be in Harlesden and everywhere, but you know what I mean? Like Bridge and Church Road and you know what I mean? We was all over the place. Like South, Killy, and do you understand? Because man didn't have ties. Man wasn't involved. Do you know what I mean? Man wasn't someone that, oh, I'm a gang member. Yeah. My brother, man, will open up anybody. I don't care who you are. Like, do you understand? Like, I don't care who your brother is. Man, smoking you. Do you understand? Like, and that was reality. Do you understand? Like, reality, innit? Like, I'm not glamorizing. I'm just saying that man didn't care who man was. Because we wasn't labeled as, I'm this gang, I'm that gang, I'm that gang. Man just knew, but I'll punch you up. Do you understand? And that's what it is, innit? Like, man's not scared of you, man. Like, yo, you're not even a bad boy.
Do you know why I'm laughing? Because I can just remember one time when we was on Gilbert High Road. You know, do you know what I'm gonna? Do you remember it?
Go on.
No, I can't even say. No, the Irish guy.
You're trying to keep.
You remember the Irish guy? It was me, you, I think Pierre, and it might have been Spud. Was it Spud?
I'm trying not to say too many names, but yeah, go on. I think, yeah, it was.
No, but it's nothing mad like that. You get me? Big up Pierre, big up Spud. If you man see this, you get me? And the guy just stopped us. Well, stopped you lot. Yeah. He might have been saying it to me too, you get me? I don't know. But do you remember what I'm talking about?
I think so.
When he just stopped you, man, and he was like, you're dirty.
Oh, yeah. Of course I remember. Yeah. You dirty Kanye. You like shit.
I looked at, man, you know what? But we were kids then. We was about 15.
But then think about it, yeah? And this is what I'm trying to say, people, where man's life set was different. Like, man's driving to school at 11, riding motorbikes and peds to school. Like, me and this guy here, this is my guy, listen, yeah? Our parents used to think that we was in school. Them time they were in Chocadero in central London in year 7 with our school uniform, having a great time and living in central London every day. And it used to be there every day. Every day.
Central London was the spot. Chocadero was a daily routine for us, like. And, you know what I mean? Going down the square.
You know how bad it is? Mad. Yeah, but listen.
I'm glad that we did grow in London, though. I'm glad that we had, like, do you know what I mean? Our childhood in London, because growing up in London, man, London's like a tough city to be in, you get me? it's a fast-paced city,
But
and
do you know what it is as well? Even like for you, yeah.
it makes
Do you
man
know-
ready
do-
for the
do you
world.
know- Do you know what I think about as well? Like for you, there's not really a lot of like Asian man like that. Like, you know, like a lot of Asian man stick with just Asian man, like things like that. Like with you,
But I think
you
that
was more.
I think
like,
that comes from because of man was in Kingsbury, my bro.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, because man was in Kingsbury, and a lot of Asian people never used to come out. Remember, a lot, you know, like
Yeah, but
there was
you
a
was
few
all- you
who
was
we used to
all
play
out.
football with when we were young.
Yeah,
But then I'm
yeah.
talking about like when we was started doing silly things, and we was, you know, driving at the age of 13 and 14 years old, and you know, we're riding mopeds and stuff like that. You know, like that was different.
Yeah.
Do you get me?
Yeah.
Like that's when parents are thinking you're definitely not hanging around with them.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah. I
Like-
even been banned from hanging around with you.
It's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
You know,
I've
like
been banned. I'm planning to knock out this
we-
guy's door. His dad's telling me, "Hey, go away." I'm saying, "Bro,
Go home.
What do you mean,
Go
go, away?
home.
You know what it is? Guys?
go home. You got no home to go to. Go home.
He said, "Go home." You got
Meryl's
no
not
home,
coming
you know?
out.
I lie. He's not coming out. Go home. But then eventually just said, "Nah, man. You know what? Come true, man. You know the ones there. Like, the man wasn't giving up. I kept knocking on Bez's door. Like, you know the ones."
Really choked on the drink, man. Fucking hell.
But people, man, when man's laughing and all of that, man's just reminiscing certain things in it. Like, man's not glamorizing it, but you know what? The reality of life is this.
I'm just glad we can laugh about it.
Yeah, because we're alive,
boy,
innit?
certain
Man
are
alive.
mental.
This is the reality. Man's alive. Man, even though man's laughing at certain things, but man's actually really sucked real people. Like, man's actually really done badness to people that were on smoke back then. Like, I put my own, like, family, my own people in a predicament because of the
Yeah,
risk and
you put everybody's lives in danger.
I lie.
Yeah,
Because of the kind of shit I used to do, because I was making money at such a young age. So the risk that I used to take, like for example, my first bag of sand, I took my brother out. You understand? This is how we do it. You understand? So it's like,
I remember I was eating my cereal. My man's knocked on my door. Man's looked at it, brother. It was a little bit more, so a bag of sand and some change. You get me?
Yeah,
But man,
that-
never seen a wad like that in man's life before. Man was like, what? It was like man hit the lottery. You get me?
100%.
Yeah, I'll never forget that.
You know,
Yeah.
and it was like, you just get addicted to it. You get addicted to it, man. So, but what I'm trying to say is, there was always a build up to the kind of life, to getting a life sentence. Do you understand? Because man went to jail prior to that twice. Do you know what I mean? For driving and a robbery thing. Do you understand? Didn't get a big one, so quick little couple of months DTO training order done, and then man got the man. And
Sorry guys, man. Sorry about that.
No, it's good, man.
You know,
No,
Director Wiz. You see, Director Wiz. You know, what it reminds me of. Sorry, people, man. But this is quick, just on my head. You know, Inspector Gadget.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
brother, I've
The
seen
funniest
gadgets. I've never, like mad shit. Like, it's like, yo, Wiz. Hey, but listen, but moving forward now, like, yeah, my people, man. So I'm trying to say, man's not glamorizing or like what it is, innit? Because man's grateful to be alive right now. Because man had to go through a mad transformation, being in the can.
Also, sorry, you know why? Because we're gonna start wrapping it up soon, yeah. Like we spoke a lot about it, and like my brother just said, we're not glamorizing none of it at all. Do you understand? Yeah, we might laugh, you might see us crack a little joke about something that might sound a little bit, I don't know, you know, a bit harsh or a bit sinister or a bit mad to somebody or whatever, but it's just our life that we lived and the kind of things that we went through, but we're not glamorizing it at all. So to move away from that, yeah, just to take us away from that, because we spoke about it quite a bit, let them know about the good stuff that you did on coming out of jail, because man did a lot of badness and a lot of bad things and stuff like that, but when you came out, you explained the kind of work that you were doing, because you know, like that's the kind of stuff we need people
you know
like
what
that.
it is? I came out and I haven't changed. Do you know what it is?
Don't say that, man. People will cut that and snip it and just use that.
You know what it is? Use it and deal with it. I ain't changed shit. Yeah, but you know what? All jokes aside, man. Like, you know what? After all the pain, you see man laughing and all of that, yeah? But deep down inside, it's painful with what we're talking about and things like that and bringing it out into the open and to the public. So what we is now is moving forward from that. I ended up coming out and getting released in 2019 on this life sentence IPP, and straight away it's like I started, like I got involved into like, my mum used to be talking to me about this stuff and manifestation, this and this, that, and you think it, you get it, you attract it, what? She think, your mum, leave me alone, man. Like, but you know what? Cutting a long story short, I wanted to work with kids and help kids out and give a little bit back as well. I got older in the system because I got released. I went away at 18. I got released at 31 years of age. So you can imagine what man had to go through growing up and the kind of things that and the kind of courses that man had to do. And man used to win competitions, reading books and writing about what man's just seen and this, that. So I ended up like getting released, and I ended up being an outreach custody caseworker. I was working with high risk young kids and supporting them, deterring them away from a life of crime, and going into schools and delivering workshop sessions in the schools to the young kids.
And also, sorry, just to cut you off because you might forget to mention it, but for a period of time it was voluntary as well. So it was something that, because it's easy to have a certain mindset when you're in that environment, when you're incarcerated, because you have all these, you know, you have this ambition and you have this drive, but then upon release, it's very easy to just get lost back in the source and, you know, think,
like,
bun that.
You know what you said before I forget? You see what Uncle Major said is true. Like, look, for example, I got released and the man said to me, my brother, look, I got a phone and I got food here. Yeah, you could take that. That's you, man. Like, and I said, my brother, I've just done 13 years, my bro.
I'm not trying to go back.
What, you're trying to give me a flipping box of food and a phone? He's like, bro, but this is, and I can say it now because it's out there. This is Encro chat. And I'm like, Encro chat? I said, my brother, I heard the man, they're talking about this shit in their raps, blood. I don't give a I'm not involved in that shit, blood. I've just come out, my bro. Let me just figure what's going on out in my life, because I was in a probation hostel as well. So let me just figure out what's going on in my life at the minute. And you know what it is, my brother, you're going to watch this and you know, where are you now, my brother? You're doing 23 years in jail, innit? On the Encro. So if I got involved with you when I got out, I would have been laughing for a little 7-8 months, laughing, making all that money. Then I would have been back in jail. And then I would have been classed as it was you, the main guy. Yeah? My brother, now look at it, my bro. You understand? It's not funny no more, innit? Because now you're sitting there doing 23 years, innit? And this is what I'm trying to say, people. So it could have gone left for me. Because you know, when I saw that, I was like, obviously I wanted it. Of course I did. I've just come out. I said, well, man, what, a box of food and a phone. Ready. We're good to go. And, bro, by the grace of God, man, went the other way. Man, started working, doing voluntary, working outreach custody caseworker, building networks with the police, because the police are the ones that work with the arrest the young kids and are all over the place. And to work with kids, you have to work with the police and do things like that. And yeah, man, started delivering workshop sessions, and you know, like I've been to the House of Commons, even House of Parliament. I got invited to go to the House of Commons. Big up these organisations, big up St. Giles, because they patted me when I first come out. But you see, Three Pillars has been with me. Three Pillars Project have been with me even when I was in custody. From 2016, I linked them, and they've been in custody. They've been supporting me on my whole journey. So big up Mike Croft. Yes, that's the CEO. Big up Jen Musto. You know, big up that team there, man, because they've supported me along the way, and they still reach out to me. I still do work with them, with young people, and do you know what I mean? I still go out there.
Those are the ones that you're currently working with.
They're the ones I currently work with still. Do you know what I mean? They take, bro, I'll go into...
Man done Snowdonia with them, you know.
Yeah, I've done things for charity, so we climbed... In 24 hours, we done 3 mountains in Wales, which is Snowdonia, Kadir Idris, and Pennyfan. Climbed that in 24 hours, raised just over 9.5 grand for the young kids. We've done, what was the next one? The
next one was more recent.
The next one was more recent. Was it Yorkshire? Was it?
I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm sure it was a mad place.
Yeah,
man. We done the next one as well. And we had a few kids that came out on Rottle. Do you know what I mean? Because I go into prisons and young offenders and support the young kids there. So because these young kids are doing good, we let a few of them come out of the prison system for a couple of days with us. Yeah. They loved it. You know, like when they were around, man.
What age are they?
15.
Oh, so they're young
offenders. They're young kids, 15 and 16. And But
I
they
said
were-
young kids, I said young offenders.
yeah,
You know
young
what I mean,
offenders.
though?
And yeah, man, and big up those kids there, man. They had their heads in the right place. And this is what it is, people, man. I've been in the House of Commons, done a big talk in front of all the politicians about prison reform, about myself, and this is all courtesy of Mike Croft. So big up Mike Croft again. And Mike Croft, are you watching this? You're coming on the podcast soon as well, man. Cause
Yeah,
you're
Mike,
talking
man, we
about
need
yours.
you on there, Mike, man. We need you to come and explain a few things about what you're up to and the great things that you're doing, man. So we're waiting to have you on, Mike Croft.
And as you can see, people, yeah, I'm not trying to bore you lot with a lot of things. You know, I'm not going into a lot of graphic detail. We're wrapping this up because we got a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
We can talk for years, innit?
We can
Especially
talk-
this
we've
one.
known each other. I'm 37, he's 36, and we've known each other since we was about 2-3 years old. So we've got plenty to talk about. So like he said, we could talk for hours and hours, but
Do you know what just came to my
you're
head?
gonna get
when you
bits
said
of
that,
it
yeah?
as
Do
we
you know what
go
came
along.
to my head? Just quickly, yeah. I remember pushing this guy in them little red cars in primary school. All the kids used to be in there. I used to grab them and rip them out of the car. And the Mezzo would jump in the car. Uncle Mezzo would jump in the car and I'll be pushing him. You know the little with the
Pushing
yellow
man
roof?
violently,
You know
trying
that-
to, you get me, trying to hurt man and that, trying to push man over.
But yeah, man, but people, man, like, so man's been doing a lot of good work in the community with the young people and all of that. We got a beautiful team here as well, and we got some record labels. We got a lot of things going on, and we got a lot of plans ready for the future. And again, man's grateful that man's got my brother Uncle Mez with man. Man's grateful. Man's got my brother Wiz, you know, Jesse. And man's grateful, man's got man's team behind, man, that always give man that elevation to push, man, and even the days that man's slacking, because at the same time, it's not easy as well with life and certain things, do you know what I mean? Like, so man's grateful that man's got the team that do support, man, because imagine if they just saw man fail and saw man going downhill and they just saw, you know what, forget it and just leave, man. Do you know what I mean? It would just be like, raw, do you know, it'd probably be even worse for man, because then man will end up deteriorating even more, because obviously man go through certain things and this, that and the other. So, you know, man's grateful for that. Just gonna say my brother's free, big up my brother Dice, he's on the roads, big up Dice. Come on, he's free.
Congrats
he's
on
off
the
that
little
bird.
man.
This is gonna be our first Christmas together in 18 years. We've already had our first birthday together in 18 years. This is gonna be our first Christmas together in 18 years. So that's mad, isn't it?
It's a long time,
Flipping
man.
out.
It's a
So
long
big
time.
up Dice, big up my mum, big up everyone. And obviously we've got a lot more to talk about, people, man. But you know what it is, man, just keeping this real short, real sweet. We're wrapping it up, you know, because yo, see Uncle Mez, he smiles, a villain that man is. Don't play that game. Stop it, man. Stop it. Even that smile there, that smirk. Look, don't play with them grey beards, you know.
Reformed a long time ago, man.
Nah, but
You know what I
we're
mean?
reformed. We're reformed.
Yeah, I got 3 grown kids, man. I got kids the size of him now, so you know what I mean. But yeah, so I think we're gonna wrap it up on that right now, and make sure to follow 910 the label. That's where the podcast is gonna be. 910 the label on all the socials: TikTok, Insta, Uncle Mez official, TikTok, Insta, the Uncle Mez and Larry show on TikTok, Man Like Larry on Insta, TikTok. Make sure you lot go follow all the socials. Go and follow Director Wiz, Junction 21 Records. And yeah, man, we'll be back again next Sunday with another episode for you lot, man. So keep your eyes open for the
my
next
people.
guest.
And also make sure, like, support man's platform, innit? Hit up the subscribe button as well, innit? It don't cost you nothing. Come on.
Press that subscribe button.
No, it
you
don't
get
cost
me?
you nothing. So subscribe
Yeah,
to our channel. We got a lot more to come out. We got a lot of guests that's going to be coming on as well. We're just giving you a lot of brief introductions about us and where we've been through and whatnot.
man.
So
Follow the journey.
my people, love. Hit the subscribe button. That's Uncle Mez, a man like Larry. Back with the next one. See you soon.
Bow.